Good afternoon. Magic Art Matters here. Today, just doing another episode of Walkin Talkin. I'm here on my beloved Rock Creek Park bike path, right next to the Rock Creek itself, and thought I'd do this little episode. It's kind of interesting, coming up on the year anniversary for the existence of this channel. It started in August last year, and it was kind of a labor of love, just a hobby type of a thing, where I wanted to create an intersection between my love for Magic the Gathering, my hobby since 1998, and the knowledge and accomplishment of my own art practice, which I'd apply to review of magic art cards. So that's what was the impetus. Also, just a way of staying relevant and being engaged, a way to interact with people when I go to cons, my beloved cons. I just love the MagicCon experience so much. And now that I've experienced the Black Lotus taste, it's kind of hard to envision getting any other level. So wish me luck on that. But anyway, having done this a year, kind of lessons learned. Some things work and some things don't. One thing that I'd like to have is a greater reach with the channel, but the subject matter is very niche, and the algorithm is not really generous to me. I would not call it generous, but the loyal fans that I do have do engage on a regular basis, and I really appreciate that. It's interesting, by choice, most of my content is 3-minute shorts, and this is largely due to the fact that the editing tools that YouTube gives you in the YouTube studio on the phone are really much more conducive to the creation of the short. I do not have to become a proficient editor. You don't have to learn a whole new software suite or invest the time in elaborate cutting and zooming, panning, all this crazy stuff that the very slick channels that you see employ. And to their credit, but you also see it ends up being a very rapid-fire delivery. These content providers, many of the magic ones that I follow, they talk so fast, and the cuts never allow for any pause. And for as good as this is in perhaps establishing authority and projecting confidence with the material, which is to their credit, it's almost a little bit artificial in that it's achieved in part, by the way that it's edited. And also, something as a side note, if as a small creator, sometimes you look for the larger channels and say, wouldn't it be nice if I could do a collab or cut a snippet from this and make a commentary on it with a voiceover. The problem is as often as I might find something that says, one of the channels, whether it's the Professor or Ben, even Veggie Wagon, suppose they say something about art, I'd love to isolate that and say, hey, this other content producer made an interesting comment on the art, and I can elaborate on that or riff on it and get another kind of a take on it. But the problem is that their editing is so compact and no pauses. There's no way to fit any commentary in at all. So that's a tough road, and just one of the small inconveniences of being a small channel that relies on shorts. But I will say, to my credit, I believe that the style that I've adopted, I hopefully think that is one that promotes a greater sense of community with the audience and authenticity. I'm hoping that my delivery is educational, factual, and objective. It's not crazy biased in terms of adopting an air of superiority about technique or anything. It's just an objective level. What are the rules of art, and how do we evaluate this piece? And furthermore, how do I help the audience learn to evaluate art on their own? That's really the mission here at Magic Art Matters, is to give people the vocabulary to explain to themselves or to a friend, this is my favorite art, and I know why it's good, right? Or this is a bad card, doesn't appeal to me, but now you can say, I know why. The composition is bad, or they've done something wrong with perspective, but all in the name of becoming better educated consumers of this product. I mean, after all, when we buy a card, we're partially buying game pieces. The bottom half of the card is the mechanic. The mana cost is in the upper right hand, and vital stats are in the lower right hand corner. So that's roughly one half of the card. But think about it. Above and beyond that, really half of the card is art. You're more of an art collector than you are a game piece collector, or at least in equal parts. You're an art collector. Think of how many pieces of art you've bought throughout the course of your life. It's probably thousands. You're maybe even losing track of them. It's hard to manage them. I know it's hard for me, but you're buying a large contingent of product that is art. And art is something that Wizards is very carefully crafting along the way with elaborate story arcs that match the theme of the set. They have to create quote-unquote Bible for the set, and style guides, color palettes, all these things. Create model sheets for the various key models, and it's really an elaborate process. They go to a lot of extreme lengths to make this part of the game enjoyable to you, and many of you do. I love it. I love the energy that they put into it. I appreciate it. But if anything, Magic Art Matters hopefully is helping you become a better educated consumer of that aspect of it. So, just got back from Amsterdam. I love that city. What a great place. There's a bicycle culture, there's a walkability culture. The public transport is very accessible. All you need is a credit or debit card, and you tap, very contactless, and you just tap to enter or exit any bus, any trolley, any light rail. Another feature about the Amsterdam culture is that public restrooms, there's more public restrooms available that I was aware of than typical inner city, big city. If I go to Washington, D.C., I know I'd have a hell of a time finding a bathroom if I needed it, short of ducking into a restaurant and begging for access. But in Amsterdam, the philosophy is a little bit different. It's a pay toilet. It costs roughly €1 to get in, and as a result, there are more abundant options to choose from when you need to go to the bathroom. But also, it's kind of know what you get. There's a slight, small cost, but it's worth it for the comfort that you get and the peace of mind, knowing that you're really not going to get stuck in a dire emergency situation. But it's all good. I can't say enough good about Amsterdam. I enjoyed my time at both the Van Gogh Museum and the Rijksmuseum, which is the Dutch masters. Both were worth the money, and it was really good that I adhered to the advice in my Amsterdam travel guide that said, book these in advance because they will sell out. And sure enough, had I not done that for that Monday after MagicCon, I probably wouldn't have been able to enjoy those experiences. I did a number of drawings, and if you search my feed, I posted several videos almost real time of both stills and a couple of videos that I did inside the museum. Anyway, at the risk of losing continuity here. I think I might turn things off here. But I will try to come on again. Talks about plans for the future. But also, let me wrap up with this. Regarding Atlanta, MagicCon Atlanta is coming up quickly in mid-late November. I've already got my ticket for that. I bought the Mythic bundle, so that gives me access. But I've also applied for two things. I applied for another instance of the Language of Looking, which is the panel I did in Las Vegas. But I also put in an application for an event, which I'll share details later, but a gameplay table with an interesting proposition that I hope people will find attractive. I think it's something that's kind of missing in the MagicCon experience, and there are certain events. BDM has Commander and Cocktails, Veggie Wagon has Savvy Pin Traders, and wouldn't it be great if I got to get my name associated with something that was interesting and fun, but related to how I put my content out? Wouldn't that be interesting? I'm going to let you read between the lines, but I think I'll detail that later on. The application, final deadline for those things is August 2nd, but I've already put mine in well before I even went to Amsterdam. So, wish me luck on that, and keep paying attention to the channel. Like, subscribe, and share. Comments, whenever you can put a comment, it's greatly appreciated. Likes, the algorithm is very stingy when it comes to promoting this channel, so anything that you can do that can help, and I will appreciate it greatly. Take care, and enjoy your days, and I'll talk to you soon.